Hello.
Hey, Nick, what's going
There's
on?
nothing. There's my Brent Star.
Child, I am stressed and what's trying to figure out what's going on because,
You don't got it. I know. And I looked it up on Google and it's like both are dead. It's like everywhere. I don't know if it's worldwide, but mm-mm.
but this is
But-
a heads up. I've been telling my friends, you can call me neurotic all you want to, but that's how they trying to make everything with one click of the button, they have power over all of us.
oh, yeah. Because it's like we have a meltdown if it's not working.
Yeah, well, not only that, anything that's going on that they trying to hide from us, I keep saying they.
Well, it is a they. It's it's like Big Brother.
Right. Oh, big sister.
Mm,
It's
yeah, they're,
scary. It's scary. And they're trying to make everything digital.
yeah.
That's how they can control us, not just social media. With the banking, with the
Hmm.
photos, with music, everything is digital.
Yeah. I know it's weird too because now you can have, I guess in Georgia, you can have your license on your phone, which that weirds me out. It's like, what if you lose
Oh,
your phone, you lose everything.
yes, yes. That's super scary.
Yeah. So I will not move my license to my phone. I'm like, I know it's convenient, but it's like, don't fucking lose your wallet then. I don't know.
Right, right. Don't lose your wallet because but you can't put a condom on your phone. You need it in person. Let me see. And what else do you put in your wallet? You, you
You're just out here raw dogging your wallet here.
right, raw dogging it.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird because I always think about that because I'm like certain. There's a lot of pictures that obviously I don't have backed up anywhere. There used to be a time when you'd have like it's
Photo
not the
albums.
yeah photo albums or even like the discs, like not the floppy disks, but the little ones.
Any of them.
Yeah, and you
You
used to
know,
back up your shit.
yeah. Best Buy, they stopped selling CDs,
Uh huh.
and people don't realize that's a big deal. No hard. Well, I kind of got distracted. Wait, oh, we talking about CDs.
You hear the word hard and you go to a different place. You go to your
Right.
special place.
Because that's even scary if men can no longer get hard. That would be really horrible.
Oh well,
But
no, they'll never let that happen because it's a man's world and always will be, sadly.
right,
Because like men obviously can get Viagra and that's fine, but women and their bodies, like who cares about that, right?
that's yeah,
Yeah.
that's another. That's sad.
It is, and I don't know when it will ever change. It's just a weird world. It's weird that we're still there in certain instances. Uh,
Right.
mm-mm. So anyway, I feel like I should like I don't really intro people much, but I at least have to like give people paint a picture of of our background. Uh,
Yeah, we have to paint a picture because you can't tag anybody anymore.
I know. Well, to everybody that's going to be listening, I've known Brent Star since I was like what, two
Kindergarten.
years old, maybe? No,
Kindergarten.
knee high to a grasshopper's eye. No, I met you. I think it was fuck.
We met at La Buzz
We
around
did.
2007 or 2008. Only reason I remember that because that's when I started hosting
Okay.
karaoke.
It was probably seven because 2000. Well, no, actually, that might have been right time frame. I don't. Time's weird too. I'm old. I don't even know anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you were hosting the karaoke show.
Yes, it was so fun and the world was so different.
No, damn la buzz, and I mean that was always fun because like we always went every. I don't remember what was it on Wednesdays. What night? I don't even remember what night it was
Oh,
on.
now you got me on that one. I
It was
feel like it
sometime
was
in the middle.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays because you remember first I did one, then they gave me two karaoke nights.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I know we met there, and then there was because I wasn't performing out here at all. I did it in California for a little bit, but I just kind of was back and forth. And then you were doing a Madonna number, and you asked me, I think beforehand, we're like, if I pull you up on stage during Vogue, can you Vogue? And I just looked at you like, duh. Oh, and you were in that little blonde Madonna wig. You did Frozen, and you did like Vogue, and I think maybe Hung Up.
Yeah, and Frozen.
And you had that
Um,
cloak.
yep, I started with Frozen first, and yeah, and then I think I ended with Vogue,
hmm
and that's when you came. And at that time, you were the first person that I met that was an extreme Madonna fan to the point where you name yourself after Madonna. Because I
Well,
thought I
yeah,
was a Madonna fan. That's why I was doing
yeah,
that number.
right.
But you beat me with that.
Well, and the funny thing is, I mean, anything, obviously in the drag world, performer world, whatever, I didn't choose my own name. Like my friend Ellis back in California, I did a benefit for him, and they're like, "Well, what's your name?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Nick." And then Ellis ran up and he's like, "This is Boy Donna." I'm like, "Okay, there we go." And
Oh, seriously? Yo, they came up with your name that on the spot like that?
yeah, yep. Because yeah, I've loved her since day one. Like in junior high and high school, everybody remembers me. Um, a lot of people called me Madonna. Um, and I technically have a last name, a last drag name, but I like my idol. I just went using the one name, but technically my last name is Freak Show.
I
So
remember Freak. I forgot about that name.
yeah, I used it for a little bit, but I was like, yeah, let's just go with Boy Donna. That's fine.
And for you listeners, I used to call Nick Boy Donna for a long time. Remember, this was back in 2007 or 8. We're coming up almost 20 years, 34 years from
Yeah.
now.
Well,
And
everybody
LeBron,
like Jen from MSR, she still calls me Boy Donna. Like there's a lot of people that still do, which is it's just fun.
it is a fun name. It is so fitting for you.
Yeah.
And every time I say the name Boy Donna, I see the eyeliner on your eyes, and
hmm
I see those tight shorts, that endless smile, the endless mischievous smile that you always have. I loved
Oh,
it. It was wonderful.
yeah. It's funny though because those tight shorts got me into trouble one time because I've never tucked in my life. But I did a show one time at La Buzz and somebody told me they're like, one of your balls popped out. And I was like, oh, well, that's how much I cared. I was like, whatever.
Well, at least they didn't say one of your balls popped out. Can I have one?
Yeah. Like, were you not entertained? Well, and speaking of entertainment, fucking your Whitney Houston is probably the best. Like, cause you had like a bag of flour or something.
Yes, I had my fake cocaine all over the stage.
Cause it
Starting with
was,
my face first, my face
yeah,
on the chair. But when Wendy passed away back in 2012, I had stopped doing that routine
yeah.
until I gave it 10 years. It's like a 10-year curse, a 10-year spell. And it
Oh,
was broken around 2020. Supposed to have been 2022, but I did Whitney recently, and it felt good to have fake cocaine back on that stage where it belonged.
and it's funny because I've seen people try and do that shit, and I'm like, they probably got that from Brent Star, whatever. Because you
I
were doing
told
it
you.
like long ago.
Yes, I was doing it for a very long time.
Yeah.
And
So
that was my favorite number at one point.
well, I mean, was it, it's not right, but it's okay that you did?
I did all of them. Well, that one and I Have Nothing were the two most popular Whitney songs that I did during that.
Yeah.
Because her other songs didn't work with that.
Right.
Those two were like just perfect.
I almost did a Whitney number one time because I did the raw talent thing at MSR, but I probably would have been like lambasted after doing it because the way I wanted to do it was it was like right after she died. And I had this vision of these like big burly men carrying me on stage,
Uh-huh.
but I wanted them to carry me on stage in a bathtub and then rise out of the bathtub and do Queen of the Night.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
But yeah, that would have not gone over well because she had like just died. And I was like, yeah, that's the way my brain works.
Oh,
I mean, it's,
yeah.
and I don't do these things to like make fun of people. It's just that this is kind of like, I don't know, it's like a second coming or like a reckoning or whatever, I don't know.
Right.
And it's all, performance is, you got to poke a little bit of fun sometimes. I mean, obviously, like you with the cocaine, I mean, imitation is the highest form of flattery, right?
That's right. That and
And
somebody buying me lunch.
I know. Well, and sometimes you just got to put a little humor in it to sell it.
Right.
Because if you don't, then people will think, because there's no heart in it, and they'll think that you're actually trying to trash the person.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
like you said, timing plays a big role because even though, comedy is comedy, it can sometimes be ruined with timing.
Oh yeah,
If yeah, you do that right after someone died, it's like, okay.
yeah. Well, and it's harder too. I don't want to sound like I'm 100 years old, but it's harder to do certain types of comedy nowadays because I feel like you have to really pay attention to your audience, and you know, you've got to have some sensitivity in there, and
Exactly.
but
You
it
really
it's
do.
but it holds you back sometimes too. I don't know. That's why I always love people like Joan Rivers. She just didn't give a fuck.
Well, people like Joan Rivers kind of got away with a lot, but the number one comedian in my head that got away with a lot was Don Rickles. Have you heard of Don Rickles?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm very familiar.
He was hilarious. He did a lot of racial jokes
Hmm.
and got away with it, and black people loved him too because he was just so funny, even though he would do black jokes.
Right.
Because he made fun of every race, and some comedians, just something about them, they have a certain je ne sais quoi about them that they can get away with. Well, I don't know. It's something about them that the audience feel like, well, we know that they're just joking or they're
Yeah.
losers anyway.
Right. Well, like Lisa Lampanelli.
Oh, she was real bad with it.
Yeah, she was, but she's fucking funny. But it was like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's all about intention.
Right.
Um, and I don't know, and then talent too. But it's just, I think some people who think they can get away with everything really don't know what they're doing, and they probably shouldn't. I don't know, and it's definitely a different world, and it's I'm glad for that because like I remember I went with my brother and sister to a comedy club here in Atlanta, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was like in this basement, this small little place. And they were making jokes, and my brother and sister wanted to sit in the front. And I was like, please no. But we did, and then they were making like jokes about like, oh, your brother and sister, you out on a date, ha ha ha, like Georgia inbreeders, funny funny, ha ha. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. But I was fine until one of the female comedians got on stage and she said the F word, and like the look on my face, like I was
Oh,
done at that point. I was like, um, and I'm not normally like, I don't normally give a shit, but I just like the MC later, he like talked to me and asked what I thought of the show, and I talked to him about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not too keen on that whole, and it's just one of those things. It's like I would never say the N word, and someone was like, why would you say the F word? It's just one of them's, one of them's.
how long ago was this?
Mm, I think it was like 2022, no, 2019. That's right.
2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so not that long ago, but it was very uncomfortable, and I was like, and I don't ever like try and hide it, so like it's probably obvious to the untrained eye that I'm gay, but
The
um,
uh,
I know you can spot it from a mile away. That's
yeah,
the
people. I don't understand how certain straight people think that we are jokes.
yeah,
We know we have a huge, big sense of humor,
yeah,
and we can, and then some of us we are hilarious, but we're not a joke.
right. Well, and I think the problem is a lot of it too is the media because I feel like in movies and TV shows, the gays were either the comic relief or they were the wacky best friend or they were like, the AIDS victim. So we were never really portrayed as real people.
Right until recently.
Yeah. And like they did the same thing, sadly, years before that with African American people. And it's just like, I don't know. I think that there's just like, there's a stigma and there's a fear of people who are different. And it's always been that way. And I don't, it's weird for me because I grew up in California. So San Francisco area was very much everybody hung out with everybody. And then like I moved to the South and I was like, wow, I'm like, racism is still here and it sucks.
Wow.
And it's
Yes.
just like, and then people get like, oh, well, why don't you go? Why don't you leave Atlanta? Why don't you go explore? I'm like, because it's the fucking South. Like,
Damn.
let me just take my tattooed, painted nail ass, my gay ass, down south a little bit and see. So I get nervous, and it's, I mean, especially in post Trump world, like because it was. It was glorious during those 8 years of Obama, but I sadly feel like Trump made everybody like, you know, take all your hatred that's inside and wear it on the outside.
Hello. 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 Nick.
Yay.
What the hell? So
I
the other conversation is gone?
No, it recorded it, thankfully.
What is we are really having a hard time. We scheduled this date, had no idea that Instagram, Facebook were gonna be shut down,
I know.
and now this podcast is being spooked out.
Oh, no, this happens all the time. Sometimes if it's a weird connection, it'll just drop. So I've had to Frankenstein the episodes together.
Mm-hmm.
So this is nothing new for me. I'm always amazed if it records the whole thing without dropping. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
weird.
so this is normal.
Yeah, this is normal for this shit. This is probably why people upgrade and pay for, better hosts or programs or whatever. But I'm going cheap with this shit
Shit, doing what you can.
until I monetize this shit. No, I don't know. It's one of those things I always said. Like I'm enjoying it, and the minute it becomes stressful in a job, I don't think I want to do it because it's therapeutic and it's. I feel like I'm learning so much from other people and in turn about myself. So I just I don't know, the minute it's just a chore, it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's already too much shit in the world that we don't want to do. So it's like, just it's better to do things that bring you joy.
That is so true.
So speaking of joy, when did you
Speaking
well,
of joy,
when did you get bit by the performing bug? Like what inspired you when you were younger and went, oh hey, I want to do that shit?
the
Or
Cabinet Show.
oh my god, yes. Uh,
I mean, that was a simple answer, but that is really the absolute very beginning for me of my journey.
yeah.
when the reruns would come on, because I wasn't around to see it when it first came out, but when the reruns came on, my whole family, my grandmother, I remember she has 4 bedrooms, and every bedroom somebody was watching the Carabinette show. And I remember when the commercial would come on, everybody would do their thing, but when once the show would return, someone would yell out, "It's back on! It's back on!" I loved it. My family loved Carabinette, and we all loved Tim Conway.
Oh
And I
God,
used to
he was
imitate
great.
both of them. Yeah,
You've seen that? It's the blooper or whatever when he's doing the elephant.
of course. That is legendary.
That makes me, yeah. I don't know. It's just something about it, and um, I don't know, something about her style of humor and the whole ensemble. Um, I don't know. It just, yeah. I grew up obviously watching the reruns as well. I'm not that old yet.
Right. Right.
Um,
We saw it on Nick and Night.
yeah, but it's amazing, and it must have. I mean, and you probably don't realize it when you're younger, but it's like I think when you're at that point and you're watching something like that, it must be so amazing to like watch people do that and just be in awe of what they're doing. And they're like, oh, they're making people laugh, or they're making people, happy, or, it's powerful.
It really is how things, can affect you. And people have no idea when they put something out. They don't know where it's going to land and how it's going to affect that person or those people.
Mm-hmm.
For me and my cousins, I would gather them up and I would play director. But I didn't realize I was playing director. I would say, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. You're gonna do this part. You're gonna do this part. And we would actually rehearse and do it in front of my aunties, and they would be falling out laughing. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see it as a performance.
Right.
We were playing a game called the Carabinette Show, and we would just imitate them.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know that was the very beginning until high school. I got into drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the class. It's just called
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
called drama.
Yeah. I had the same. It was like drama, and then they changed it to like performing arts after a while, and
Yeah.
yeah. Um, have you? I know you do. You're a comedian, but have you done a lot of like dramatic stuff ever, or is that
Yes,
okay?
most definitely. Especially more so in school.
Yeah.
In those classes and certain competitions we had, I had to be versatile.
Oh,
Not just
there's a
not
first.
just a versatile bottom, but or a versatile top,
Right.
but
Right. Yeah.
I had to be dramatic as well as comical.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I was good at that. It's just that I really haven't done it that much outside of that in the real world. I
Right.
do mostly comedy stuff, but I have more fun playing stuff that's light.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to go, that deep or that dark. Um, but I've noticed that a lot of comedians, to me, like Jim Carrey, for instance, like he's funny, but I always prefer his dramatic roles. And I think like a lot of comedians, I don't know if it's a silly statement, but it seems like maybe they have an easier time doing dramatic roles, and maybe it just comes more because I think a lot of the comedy, and not for everybody, but a lot of times too, it does mask a lot of the deeper, darker stuff that's there. Um,
Yes, that's the old myth.
yeah,
And you are right. It's not for everybody.
yeah,
Um, some of us are just happy go lucky. However, I can say for me, as I've gotten older, now that I'm in my 20s, um,
oh my God, you're finally younger than me.
yeah,
It's wonderful.
finally, um, It's just that you experience life, and certain things is hard to shake. Like,
Yeah.
for example, loss.
Uh-huh.
You know, whether it's someone from your family or a boyfriend, those things can really affect you in a big way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm hearing a lot of screaming outside of my building. I don't know what's going on.
Uh-oh.
I think it's funny how this crisis on social media is going on. We're like, let's do a podcast.
Maybe there's something happening in the world that we don't know, but sometimes maybe it's better not to know. I don't know.
Right.
We're safe inside.
Yeah, well, until we get off, until we're done with this, we're
I
like,
know.
oh, that's what's been going on.
I know. Well, and then they like work called or they text me and they're like, "Oh, don't come in." I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that."
Right.
So I'm like, maybe something is happening. I just need to stay indoors.
Oh, speaking of which, I had got a text come through right before the this podcast shut down a second ago.
Uh-huh.
So I had forgot to turn my focus on. So I don't know if you do reminders for future, because I know you're supposed to be interviewing Will Smith after me. So I don't know. Make sure you tell him
Oh, yeah.
to turn his focus on.
It's sometimes it's hard to focus, you know?
Oh God, I'm easily distracted.
I
You
know.
ever go to Instagram looking for a certain picture,
Uh-huh.
and then all everything you're interested in the most pops up like, hey.
Yeah. Well, they know when you're like when you're looking at your phone. It's weird because there are things like I'll say things to people and all of a sudden I'll get ads for it. Or sometimes I won't even say it. I'll think it and it will just be there and I'm like, that's creepy. But
Yeah, that.
I think sometimes too it knows when you like stop scrolling and you look at something and it's like, oh hey, they're interested.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's weird. Um
Oh no, that's a very good point, because it's like that on eBay.
yeah,
eBay makes it more obvious, but I didn't think about that, Nick. Thank you. I didn't think about that for other apps. eBay, I think Amazon too. You click on anything or just
yep,
look at it.
yep.
It is are you on do you do Timu?
No. I've
I
heard of it, but
love
yeah,
Timu.
I'm aware of it. But yeah, it's like the other thing, the Shein or whatever.
I never tried Shein, but I heard it was good. I tried Wish. It was a hot mess.
Oh yeah, I
But
heard Wish is bad.
Yeah. And I was skeptical of Timu like you are probably, but once I tried it, it's very addictive. But they do the same thing. You look at anything and they will literally shove it in your face. Oh, so you like bras. Oh, so you like G strings. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this one.
So you look at anything, they'll just shove it in your face. I gotta start looking at dicks then or something. Ew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, yeah, go ahead.
No, I back to the drama and the thing, acting and whatnot.
Oh, I
Um,
forgot about
I know.
that.
No, it's fine. I just remembered there was a quote that I think goes with that the best. And it's Carrie Fisher, who I love. Like, I think I'm more inspired by her as a person. Like I love Star Wars and all, and I love Princess Leia, but it was the person that I love. And
Carrie Fisher.
yeah, and she always said, "Take your broken heart and turn it into art." And that's like I feel like that's like a mantra almost. I think that's why we as creators and entertainers and whatnot, I think a lot of it, because like I grew up, my father died when I was two. There was a big void. So like I think that's probably why I wanted to perform and do stuff because it's like there's this void. And then it's also like, I didn't get as much love as I could have. So I'm like, well, let me get it from strangers because that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, so it just is interesting to me how people get on that journey. Like I've never really cared about the what, it's always the why. Like I'm always fascinated. Even if I'm not interested in what people are doing, I still want to know how they got there.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's called the prequel.
Yes, or your origin story.
Right, yeah, the origin story.
Yeah,
But I like that quote. I haven't heard that one from Carrie Fisher. I love that one. Take your
yeah.
broken heart
Oh
and
yeah.
turn it to art.
Uh-huh. I
And
think I've
Taylor
heard.
Swift is a master at that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering what kind of album she's going to make after she breaks up with the football guy.
Oh, I was not interested in him until I found out he was a tight end.
Oh, well,
I was like, oh, really?
usually it's nothing but wide receivers.
Right. No wonder he was so angry at that coach. That's a real tight end. It's just so tight, and he
Just needs to
frustrates me.
loosen up a little bit.
Yes.
He needs Taylor needs to peg him or something. Oh God,
Somebody said that.
there's an image.
What image?
No,
Oh,
Taylor Swift pegging her boyfriend.
oh, and then him really loving it.
Thanks to AI, you can recreate that now.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my God.
Thanks to Temu, you can order it.
Oh God. But it's not going to be the real thing. It's going to be a reproduction.
What is it?
I don't know. I hurt my leg, I guess a week ago. It's better now, but like a friend of mine was like, "Do you need anything?" I'm like, "A new leg," and she's like, "I don't know. All I can afford is a new leg on Temu." And I was like, "I'm fucked then."
I cannot believe you don't do I think you will love it. Take it from me, hon, because I'm a very skeptical person. If I love it,
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. And now that we're talking about this, we're gonna see, or at least I'm gonna see nothing but Temu ads.
oh, that's true.
I feel like we're
Or
doing a commercial for them right now, and I'm gonna contact them and be like, I need some money for plugging you guys, or,
uh-huh.
or at least some clothes.
Or ask for uh Kelsey pussy.
Who? Oh,
Yeah, that's I couldn't think of his first name. Taylor's boyfriend.
uh,
What is his first name? Travis?
Travis. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, his pussy. Travis Kelsey Grammer pussy.
Oh my God, I don't even think he's that attractive. He's fine. I don't know, but
He
uh,
okay. Like I said, I just like the fact that he a tight end. I was like, yes.
well, like I said, those are hard to find these days,
Right.
especially in Atlanta. It's a city of bottoms.
Plenty.
Yes, I know. Believe me, I know. I won't say how I know, but I know. It's been a
You just
busy
taking a lucky
season.
guess.
It's been a busy season. It's good for me. Uh,
Oh.
anyway. Oh, my
Uh-oh.
Lord. What?
So Facebook and Instagram is back and running.
Hell yeah, Facebook pussy.
Yes, and Instagram pussy.
Where did that all come from?
A
Not
friend,
fa-
I was hanging out with a friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
and we were um having a great time, and intoxicated and everything. And he
Mm.
just kept saying pussy for everything. And I could not stop laughing. Oh my God, I could not stop laughing. And it became an addiction. And then now I have so many people doing the pussy thing. Everybody does it.
Yeah, I don't do it, but I love it when you do it. Like, there's nothing better than getting a text and you saying, "Boy, John a pussy." I'm like, oh my God, yes. Yes. Like, that's, and that, and then, of course, I always remember the Kroger sack.
Oh my God, now you really hit the nail on the head. I
Uh-huh.
forgot about that one.
My Kroger sack, my something, something. I don't even remember how it goes.
My Kroger sack, my Kroger sack, my Kroger sack, damn it. My Kroger
Yes.
sack, my
Oh,
Kroger sack, my Kroger sack, damn it. My
it was,
flashlight, my light bulb, my Milky Way. Yes, I remember that. We just started naming stuff you put in the Kroger
uh-huh.
sack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to do that all the time. I fucking loved it.
I have to find that song. It's on my hard drive. Well, now it is until the future.
Until the future. And then who knows?
Yeah, we don't know where we're going. It might just be molecules floating in the air. I don't know how it's going to be.
Well, I sometimes wonder if everything is just gonna like implode and we're just gonna have to go back to how we used to. I don't know. It's just like I almost want it to happen just for the younger generation because they don't understand. Like, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have social media, we didn't have any of that shit. I'm really glad we didn't have social media, especially when I came out, because that would have been even worse. But
Yeah,
it's like we didn't half of us didn't even have know what time it was. We just knew when the street light came on, it was time to go home.
yep.
And if,
Um,
and if you didn't, you got a beating.
I
Just,
haven't heard anybody say that in a long time too.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
My
especially in the black family, you gonna get a beating.
Yeah, my mom would grab whatever was handy, if whether it was like a wooden spoon, or remember they used to make the Hot Wheels tracks like with the metal.
Yes,
Yes, that too. My grandmother used to have us get a switch out of the yard. So,
the same for me. Very same. I think my mom beat me with extension cord before.
oh my lord, that no, that would not feel cute.
None of what she used felt cute.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
I
like you
know.
said, would grab anything.
Uh huh. Yeah, it was just whatever's handy. And my brother thought he was clever. He always used to try and shove a book down his pants, and I was like, she'll know because your ass is square and it'll make that sound. But yeah, it was inventive at least. But
Not your brother was SpongeBob.
oh my god, that's great. And it wasn't even just at home though, because I went to Christian schools, so like we got paddled there, and I got paddled all the time because I was, and it wasn't even things that I was being bad. It was just like it just happened a lot, and you'd think that I would have carried that over to my adult life and gotten real kinky, but I didn't.
Right.
I'm not
Wow.
wild about it. I'm like, don't spank me. No, I'm good. Thank you.
You got spanked a lot for listening to Madonna at a Christian school.
Um, well, when I was in school, I had to hide it. Like, I didn't actually like finally like I guess come out of the Madonna closet until like a prayer came out. I liked her from the get go. Like when Holiday came out, I remember hearing it on the radio in like '83, and I always like followed her and loved her secretly. Then like a prayer came out, and I was like, holy shit! Like I need to worship this woman, and I protested. We were in the grocery store, and there was the like prayer tape. And I was like, I'm not leaving without this. And my mother's like, nope, she's a tramp, she's a slut. And I'm like, and I just had a fit, and she bought it for me,
Uh-huh.
and that just everything changed.
Your mom said she's a slut.
Yeah, 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 yeah. She hated my obsession, and it got even worse because like when I started getting tattoos, and then I got my first Madonna tattoo. She just told me, she said, I wish that one day you'd wake up and you wouldn't like her anymore. And here we are, like 40 years later, and still.
Right. You still a big fan.
Hmm.
Now, has your taste for, not your taste, but your worshipness for Madonna, has it watered down a little bit
Oh
now
yeah.
that everybody's seeing a different side of her?
No, it's not even the different side. I just feel like I I've kind of, I guess, nuanced my collection. Like I don't when I was younger, I used to have everything, but then you get to a certain point where you get tired of lugging around all this stuff. And
Uh-huh.
then you realize somebody that's that big and is just like global, you can't ever have everything. There's no way. So like I had to start like going, okay, well, I want to at least start getting all of this of her and all of this, but not everything. But yeah, it's toned down slightly, but I mean it's always there. Like I just went and saw her a few weeks ago in Cleveland for my birthday, and then I'm seeing her on the 1st in Atlanta. So like it's still full fledged, like, I have 9 Madonna tattoos, and I'm still, still going, but
Wow.
it's less in your face than it used to be. Like in high school, it was like turbo. I used to have those binders. Well, remember those binders where you could put like the pictures in there?
Yes, I used to love those type. They were my favorite type of binders.
Hmm. Well, I used to put a picture of Madonna every day, and I changed the picture every single day. So everybody would be like, "Oh, what do you got now?" And sometimes I'd put nude pictures and I'd get in trouble.
Oh,
Um,
that's why I used to get paddled.
no, no, no. That was what is it? That was public school by that point.
But
Um,
wait a minute, you said you changed the picture in your binder of Madonna to a new picture every day?
yeah.
Wow, so what, you had like a stack of 'em in place and ready to go, honey?
No, well, I mean, I just kind of, it depended on the day, but yeah, I would just like change them, and like a lot of the magazines I'd got, I'd take out the pages, and like I always had like stuff. I had one of those bedrooms where I had like pictures and posters all over the place.
I did too.
And it wasn't just Madonna, but it was like, what else did I have? Like Depeche Mode and Nine Inch Nails and Lenny Kravitz and Tori Amos, and it was the '90s, you know.
I
But
still haven't seen that latest Lenny Kravitz video everybody's talking about.
oh, I haven't either, but he still fucking looks good.
Yes. But yeah, I heard that video was hot though.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm
How
have
did we
to.
both how did we both miss that?
I don't know. I didn't realize he had a song out. I saw that he was on the cover of like People the other day, but I didn't realize that anything new came out.
This video has been out, I think it's about almost 6 months old by now,
Oh shit.
if that if that long. But I kept putting it off, saying I'm gonna have to go watch it, I'm gonna have to watch it. But it's supposed to be really steamy. He's like half naked.
Mm-mm.
Somebody said he's full frontal, and they do that little sensor image thing in front of it.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to see this. Miss
So,
Lenny Kravitz pussy.
so it's like the D'Angelo video then.
That's what it reminds me when they would tell. I think that's why I didn't rush to see it, because you saw D'Angelo,
Yeah.
you seen it one, and plus you got Pornhub everywhere, Twitter. You're
Yeah.
not in a rush.
Right. Well, it's funny because I remember when the D'Angelo video came out, and I just remember like watching it and like, kind of trying to peer over your TV to see if you
Right,
can, like, okay, what's going on there?
man,
Um,
that video was really hot.
uh-huh. And it's just like it was just he wasn't just standing there naked, and I'm like, that's enough.
It really was. Yeah, now that's not gonna satisfy me, but back then
Yeah.
that was everything.
Well, and back then it was interesting too because like, not only just like without phones and social media, but like we grew up in a time where you had to use your imagination for, you actually had to have fantasies. You couldn't just get on the internet and just look up something and there you are. Um,
Exactly.
you had to get creative. And nowadays it's like everything's out there. It's so funny to me to think that like in 1990 they banned the Justify My Love video, and then cut to nowadays and it's like that's like the tamest thing ever.
Uh huh.
So I don't know. It's just, but that's why I wonder sometimes if like we're just doing so much that eventually we're just gonna revert back a little bit. I don't know, because it's like there are times when it's like it's cool, but then there are times when it's like it's almost too much. I don't know, like just with everything, and I feel like I don't know. It's like it maybe a disservice to the world, because
Well,
there's something
I've
to be
heard.
said for
Yeah.
you know creativity and for the ability to like I don't think these kids know how to read a map, or like if they lost their phone, what would they do? You know, I feel like
I'm gonna be
it's,
honest with you. I hated reading a map.
oh, I'm fine with it. It just, I didn't like it, but I got to I mean, because I went on trips a lot with my mom, and she refused to fly, so I'd have to.
Oh, okay. And we are talking about the ones that not only unfolds, but is so big,
Yeah.
and is and it's kind of intimidating a little bit.
Although after a while, she would go to AAA and get those the triptychs that were like it was almost like the book, but it was like a map of just your vacation, so it would like focus on that.
Yeah.
And those were a lot easier. But yeah, like I had to because especially on the trips where it was just me and my mom, I had to figure out how to read a map because she just got so frustrated. So I mean, I don't know if I probably could read a map these days, but it's been a minute. I just feel like everything just makes you so lazy. Like you don't have to figure out an analog clock. You don't have to, remember phone numbers. You don't even have to like, have a fantasy in your head. It's just it's all there.
Wow, that's true. I didn't think about that one either. You don't have to have a fantasy. It is kind of creative for you.
Yeah. It,
Um,
everything's
However, I
there.
do miss the remembering phone numbers. I had that conversation with plenty of people. That
Yeah.
was so normal back in the day.
Yep.
I can meet three people in one day and they can give me their numbers. And this is how good I had gotten because it's a muscle that's working a muscle in your brain.
Hmm.
And I can meet three people in a day, it could be more. And they were giving their phone number and I would just remember it would just be floating in my head
Yeah.
among other people's numbers that I remember. This is before cell phone.
Right.
And now, ooh, I definitely didn't know yours. I had to go look it up on my phone.
Yeah. I only remember the phone number from when I grew up, like my house in California, and that's it.
Yeah, that's sad. I had to make sure I had to take my mom's name out of my phone so I can memorize her cell phone number because when someone brought that to my attention, I was like, God, I don't know anyone's number.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like if
yeah,
everything just like imploded and we were without, like what would we do? Because we've gotten so used to depending on everything else and not
yeah.
our own wits.
Because when Instagram was out and Facebook was out, when I was texting you or calling you on
Yeah.
through the self text, I was like, wow. It did remind me what other people have said. Somebody said they think we might one day go all the way back to caveman era. I was like,
Um
oh, that's too far.
yeah, and I don't if we did, I don't know if we would be alive to see that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I have no interest. I mean, I could make some cute cave paintings and all, but I don't know how I'd look in like some like animal fur loincloth or anything. I certainly couldn't make fire.
Well,
Yeah, well, I know, right? There's only one way to find out.
yes, one way or another.
Yes, ma'am. Get some caveman pussy.
Ooh, some caveman pussy and rub them sticks together to create a fire. Ooh, let's have a barbecue with dinosaur meat. Let's have a dinosaur barbecue meat special.
Oh, now you're going all Flintstones.
I was one of those kids that actually thought that during the dinosaur during the dinosaur era they had cavemen. I was like, and when people correct me, I was like, well, what's the point of calling them goddamn cavemen? What the hell he was in the cave for then?
I don't know. I mean, probably for shelter from all the elements, like, because I mean, they didn't really have clothes and then all the animals and everything else. It was probably a terrifying time, and it was probably a very short life expectancy.
Of course.
So
They had nothing to do. They couldn't check their social media. They had absolute and what else is there to do?
I know. Well, and it's funny too because it's like that old adage about like, it's sometimes it's better not to know. Like they didn't know about any of that, so it's like it was almost better.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I just feel like we don't use our brains like we should anymore. And that's kind of sad. Like I just feel like, and I mean I know it's part of it's age because, my sister always says that you only have so much room for information and then it's just hard to like put new stuff in there.
Uh-huh.
And I believe it. But I don't know. I just think,
Well, there's good and bad in everything.
oh
Yeah, of course, without saying, there's a lot of benefits to social media. A
yeah.
lots and lots and lots.
Yeah, I've met so many great people through social media. I have a lot of friends that I talk to every day that I've not actually met in real life, but like we talk all the time. Like, we've known each other for years. I've been able to network with people. With this podcast, obviously I've been able to get that out there and promote and um, I still keep trying to ask people to be on it that I probably have no business asking, but like I'm like, hey, you're a big celebrity, be on my thing. Oh no, okay. I'll go into people's DMs. I'm like, I don't care. And
Well,
so I
maybe
don't
you shouldn't ask them to be on your thing.
know.
Um, do they know you when you say your thing? What you're specifically talking about?
No, I mean,
You
I give them like a breakdown of what it's all about, but like I don't know. I mean, I know
No,
that
I
they're.
mean your thing, your dick. You said,
Oh
come
my
come get on
lord,
my thing.
yeah, get on my thing. That would be a good pickup line. Hey, you get on my thing.
Right. Hey you're nice looking. You want to get on my thing?
Oh, that's gonna be a new catchphrase.
It's good. Right, it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, God, it's gonna take off like wildfire. Also, it's funny too because I realize like even like catchphrases and sayings and stuff like things slang and stuff it seems to go quicker these days too with social media like and it's weirder when I don't have younger people in my life to like explain to me what the hell they're talking about,
Uh-huh.
like when my nieces and nephews were little and there'd be a new phrase and I'd be like, what does that mean?
Right. And
But
they would know.
yeah, like and I don't know, I don't think that they're, I mean, God, my oldest nephew is going to be 30 this year, which is just frightening.
Right, because that means you're gonna be 65.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
No, I was 17 when he was born. I'm 46, which is weird, but I'm getting used to it, I guess. I mean, I just turned 46, so, I'm trying it on for size, seeing if I want to go backwards or not. It is weird. I mean, I do like my 40s. I'm fine with it. I mean, 20s were wild. 30s was kind of trying to figure things out and I feel like I didn't pull my head out of my ass until my 30s. So it's just kind of weird how that happens. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different, but it's just like I feel like it was just a weird time, and like I grew up very sheltered, and so I had to like figure out a lot of my own and make a lot of mistakes.
Shit, that's all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of us.
Well, and I feel like I didn't really start living until I came out here because, like, I was living at home and I was 23 and I thought I knew everything and I didn't. And then I moved out to the
So
South.
when you say you used to live in San Francisco, so all this time you was talking about when you say with your parents?
Oh, well, I didn't. I lived like maybe 45 minutes east of San Francisco. So
Okay.
like being like maybe Kennesaw or Ackworth in cahoots with Atlanta, like that distance
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm glad you broke it down like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I lived at home with my mom. until I was like 23. I mean, at one point when I was 18, I moved to Seattle, but that was very short-lived. But I met my ex when I was 23 and moved out to Chattanooga, and I had no clue and knew no one, and everything was just very different and backwards. Like I'd never been to the South, and all of a sudden I was living in it, and it was challenging.
Yeah, I can imagine coming from one extreme. Well, I don't know. The like I said, everything has a good and bad. They,
Yeah,
and when it comes to LA, I guess that's a different mindset than San Francisco.
it
But
is. It is.
I keep
Yeah.
hearing everybody telling me that LA, so many people so pretentious out there is bad.
Well, the thing is I've noticed that, like with New York or whatever, a lot of big cities, like New York, everybody's like, "Oh, everybody's so rude," blah blah blah. But like, I think once everybody stops being in such a hurry and you catch them in some downtime, they're very nice. Same with
Yes,
LA. Like, there are a lot of flaky people, but like, I went. When was it? I guess a little bit before the pandemic. I went. Yeah, right before actually, in 2020, in February, I went, and one of my best friends lives out there, and I just had a really good time, and I met some awesome people, and it was very different than when I was a kid, and so I had a very preconceived notion, but I think it's you have to catch the right people and do, like I wasn't doing touristy things. I was just doing like what regular people did. Um I don't know. I think it's just anywhere. It depends on the moment you catch them. Because I hear a lot of people saying that a lot of people out here are rude. I'm like, well, they're not rude to your face,
right, right.
but they're being rude. I don't know. But it's, I think you just have to dig deep and look for it. And because I think, anywhere they're terrible people and they're pretentious and whatever. I think there are a lot of pretentious people here. It's not all the time. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of pretentious people are in our little community, but I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying some of them. Like certain places I've gone to, I haven't exactly felt
Welcomed.
comfortable. Yeah, so that's why I do kind of miss. I miss the buzz because it was just very like nobody gave a shit, and it was a lot of fun.
Nobody gave a shit a buzz.
Yeah, it was
And
just.
also for you listeners, so La Buzz is now a closed club
Hmm.
in Atlanta,
Hmm.
but we are generally talking about the original La Buzz,
Hmm.
which was in a sense like a playground for us
Yep.
because that's how we met, and I felt so liberated in there because the owners were never there. And they
Yeah.
gave me this gig to host these shows, and it was just anything goes, really.
Yeah.
And you remember the dressing room? You remember the
Hmm.
underwear contest we used to
Yep.
have?
Yep. Yep. That was fun. Just getting
God, it was
in.
so much
Sometimes it'd be
fun.
like straight boys that would come in and be like, okay.
Oh yes, I remember them. Not the Roach Motel, but the gay motel where they come in get straight, but they leave out. Well, that's if they leave out. Gay as fuck.
Yeah. I know. So many.
Yeah, I missed that particular La Buzz. I like that one better than the new. I never really got into the new one.
See, I didn't when they kind of redid it, I didn't go a lot.
Uh
Um,
huh.
like I can't remember because I did the last time I was there, I think was when I did Hedwig, and that was 2010. I don't remember when it closed, but
You're talking
that
about
was
the new one, right, or the old one?
I think it was the new one. I'm just trying to remember. I mean, because it was in the same building, they just redid it, right?
No, they
Oh,
they did it for a little down the street.
oh, then I don't know. I never went to the newer one then.
Yeah, it was another. It was a completely different building. Well, just down the street,
Yeah.
and it was huge. And I personally think that when you do something like that, that adds more pressure to trying to get that filled up.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't know. We all try new things, you know, but
Yeah.
the older bus was, man.
Yeah. I had no idea. Like I thought once that was done, they were done, but I didn't know that they were. I mean, but God, when did I like 2011 or maybe actually 2010 was when I moved to Atlanta proper. Because, well, I mean, I was living in Atlanta for a little bit, but that's a long story with a psycho roommate. Blah blah blah. Life happens.
Uh, right, right.
But yeah, I moved back in like 2010 to the city, so it's like I rarely go out that direction anymore. And even then, I used to hate it when I lived in like Marietta or Kennesaw, and people, I'd ask people to come and visit. They'd be like, "Oh, it's so far," and I'm like, "It's not." But now that I live, in the city, I'm like, "Yeah, it's far."
Uh,
With traffic and everything else, I'm like, "No,
uh-huh.
no, it takes forever." And also,
I
like,
was, yeah.
I get itchy like when I get out of like the perimeter.
I get itchy in the sense that I feel like I have to be back before 3 o'clock.
Yes, yes, I get very uncomfortable, and especially it's like it's a different world. And
Mm-hmm.
it's weird how that is, but it's like that everywhere. Like growing up, I lived in a place that was farming community, and a lot of people are like California. I'm like, yes, California. California is a very big state. My best friend, her husband, she took him out to go visit, and he said that it was like the Midwest of California, and that's pretty much the best way to describe where we grew up. And then of course, like 45 minutes, you're in San Francisco, and it's like another world. And I feel like that's kind of like here too. It's like you're in Atlanta and it's lovely, but then there are the outskirts and the suburbs, and you just are like, oh, okay, why am I here?
Uh-huh. And when can I get back home? I want to go back
Exactly.
home.
Yeah, there's no place like home. You just gotta click your Ruby heels.
Right. Or your cha-cha heels.
Oh yeah. Oh, cha cha, real smooth.
Oh my God. I cannot believe we've been doing this for an hour because this time it didn't cut off. It's like 45 minutes almost.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Sometimes it just it behaves.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I do think though, should probably wrap it up. I'm trying to like do it so it's not like because this is going to be that and plus the other little bit that we did earlier, but I'm trying not to make it so it's like 500 hours long.
Right. Exactly.
There are times when I'm like, oh shit, it's like been 2 hours. Oh my God. Like, who's going to listen to this? People do, but I'm just trying to like, I'm trying to keep it to a certain time frame.
Yeah.
Um,
I totally think between 45 minutes to an hour because people's attention span is bad. But
yeah,
like there are some people like I could totally see me listen to all of it if I'm driving like from here to
yeah,
Tennessee, for example,
yeah,
you know. But if they're at home and out and about in the city, no,
yeah,
they're just not.
yeah, definitely. So, do you have anything that you want to plug? Any upcoming things for the fine folks in Atlanta, like any shows or anything?
Yes, for the ones who are listening now this far into our conversation, into this far into our big black deep holes.
Ooh,
Um, First of all, please join me on Instagram at Brent Star Graham. Brent, no extra R's, T's. Star, no extra R's, no extra pepper and cheese, but Brent Star Graham. And I post all of my show dates and get on people's nerves about it with flyers and stuff. Besides comedy and drag, I love hosting drag bingo.
and it's fun.
It really is. That's right. You did come to one of
I
them, so you
did
know.
at the oh God, what's that
Rock
place?
and Margie's.
Yeah, I'm on the place that looks like Blanche Devereaux's bedroom,
Yeah.
or did. It's not there anymore. It did. It totally looked like her bedroom.
Right. That's right.
And then we played the ring toss on the dildo.
That's that's not a joke, listeners. That's one of my games.
Yep.
And just imagine the games have actually gotten more fun. I think with bigger crowds, my game was, and plus not just bigger crowds, but fun crowds.
Hmm.
My games are much more fun. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we had fun when it was more intimate and a smaller crowd. Big
Yeah.
building though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
Uh, yeah,
it's lots of fun. Everybody needs to check it out. Um, I need to go see one of your comedy shows someday.
yeah, yeah. But don't tell me you're there until after, because if I see you, we're gonna start kicking in.
I know everybody be like, "Can you get back to the set?" Oh,
That has happened to me with some of my friends, especially the ones I'm comfortable with, like you. How we talk
yeah.
about anything.
Hmm.
Oh my God, I would really, I'll say something, and maybe the crowd didn't get that particular joke, and
Hmm.
my friend, he would be the loudest one laughing, and I would be laughing, and it would really distract from the act, and I had to really pull myself together and be like, Brent, it's other people here.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It's hard to focus sometimes. If I go, then I'll just sit in the back and I'll wear like a trench coat and like a hat and some glasses. Actually, then you'd know it was me. You'd be like, "There he
Right.
is."
You'll sit next to Madonna.
Yes. Yes. Me and Madonna will be kicking in the back and be like, "Oh, he brought her. Damn it."
Right. She comes all the time after she heard that I was doing her Frozen number.
Oh, totally. I mean, she can't get enough. Wouldn't that be
No.
amazing? I just, yeah. Mm, sorry. Like I could go on and on about that. No, I have to say though, I am very proud of you, and it's been nice to see the evolution. Um, the point of this podcast hasn't really been to. It's not an ego thing. I'm not trying to like, oh, look at me, how great I am. It's I want to elevate people even further,
Well,
and I think,
thank you for the compliments, and I had fun doing this podcast.
yeah, no, it's been really good, and it's just nice to be able to still be a part of people's lives and to catch up and to, I don't know, because like you're the one who got me into performing out here, and even though I don't really do it much anymore, um, you know, I think it was at a time where we just, yeah, it was just a small group of us, and we were doing our thing, and everybody just kind of believed in everybody, and we were just having a good time, and so I think we found each other when we needed each other, and it's nice to still be in each other's lives
No,
without being sappy.
seriously. Yes. Being each other's pussy.
Girl, or that big black hole. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
I
But
totally forgot you started doing my sister's room. That is so true. That's why they still call you Bordana.
yeah, yeah, I had my own variety show for 6 months, and it got canceled like any good sitcom.
Right, right. At least, look, at least it lasted 6 months.
Oh, I know. I mean, and it's fine. It was on a Thursday, and that's not really a good night for anything. And it's hard, and it's just the older I get, and it's a lot. Performing is a lot. I don't know. I like it. I'll do it if somebody like wants me to, or if I've done a lot of charity things. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. But it's just sometimes it's just good to take a pause and a refresher.
Yeah,
So that's why I tell people I'm semi-retired.
just semi, because that means you're
Yeah,
coming right back.
yeah. And I'm gonna go from semi to fully hard.
And on that note, I am so glad we had this time
Oh,
together.
are you tugging your ear right now,
Yes, and my clit. I love it.
girl? You're a mess, and I love it. Oh,
Uh,
all right, girl. Well, thank you.
keep doing this podcast, because that's kind of that's your way of your constant connection with the entertainment world.
Yeah, definitely. It's just it's if anything, it's been therapeutic and rewarding. So I'm gonna keep going, and you keep doing your thing because you bring joy to people.
Thank you, baby.
All right. Well, you all go check out Brent Star. Brent Star, who do you think you are, motherfucker? Um, that's another one.
Oh, now see that you gonna get a beating. Love
Oh,
you. Thank
oh,
y'all for
Malanta.
listening.
Thank you so much, baby.
Bye, baby.
Bye.